All right, all right. Good morning. Welcome to another episode of Simple Life Philosophy. It is, man, it is Thursday. I'm like, what day is it? And also, sometimes I start this video on this part of the overpass where there's a lot of cars just moving around, changing lanes, and this guy was moving into my lane like he was trying to change lanes. So, sorry to bore you there with that. It is November 6th. Man, I can't believe we're in November, but yeah, we made it another day. Um, Welcome to another episode. Thank you for listening to me. I don't know why you do, but I really appreciate it. I'm just trying to work on myself. I'm just trying to get better every day. I'm trying to change, not too fast, but also not too slow. I think everything in life is a balance. It's two poles competing against each other. You got the negative charge and the positive charge, and yeah, it's just about finding that balance and finding ways to get better step by step, day by day, because that's what it's about. It's life is work. Life is work, day in and day out. Life is action, day in and day out. I think sometimes we all have this like inner saboteur, if you will, that wants to keep us safe and comfortable. um, and I've definitely struggled with that saboteur my whole life. um, I've had this kind of strong ambition, but I've also had really strong, I don't know how you like, just strong animalistic, primal like desires that I've always just had struggled to control. Addiction has always, man, I've always struggled with addiction. Whether it's like video games, drugs, alcohol, partying. It's just when I was younger, that's just what I struggle with. Porn, in a way. Corn. I gotta say corn. I have to learn that sometimes some words get triggered out here. So, yeah, it's tough talking about. It's tough admitting. You know what I mean? My ego doesn't like that. My ego's like, nah, man. Like, like you don't struggle with anything. What are you talking about? Like, yet the ego also wants you to to feel good. Your ego wants your body to feel good, so your ego wants you to do those things. But when it comes to having the awareness to admit those wrongs and those regrets, your ego's like, nah, no, like you're good, But no, you got to confront that. You got to confront that and understand that's not okay. That's not who my highest conscious self should be and who I am really. It's basically just society manipulating me in a lot of ways, just making me this little dancing puppet for them, and I don't want to be a dancing puppet for anyone. I want to be my own self. I want to be my best self, and really the only way to do that is to just really have a really disciplined, consistent lifestyle and do the inner work. It's inner work, not outer work. The outer the outer world is putting a lot of garbage and filth in your mind. I mean, we live in this hedonistic society. Hedonism, it's a word I've kind of another word that I've seen a lot lately, and it's just basically pleasure chasing. I mean, that's what we're doing. It's Our society is all a bunch of pleasure chasing, greedy people, um, and yeah, it's turning American society into just a bit of a wasteland now. I mean, I think a lot of people are forecasting the American collapse, and I don't. The only way really out of that is spiritual enlightenment, in my opinion. I don't care what religion. I'm just talking about just spiritual enlightenment, finding your higher selves, rising above the hedonism, rising above the pleasure chasing, and finding balance in yourself and in the world with the environment around us. And frankly, I don't know the how we're going to do that as a species. Um, and it's quite scary just the powerful weapons, whether it comes to, biological weapons, the fact that we can create diseases. Where's that? Oh, there he is. I was like, I heard a cop car. Um, yeah, so it's just a lot of hedonism out there, and um, a lot of pleasure chasing, and society just has these weapons that can now really just, I mean, man, it really puts a lot of fear into us. And then you have all these like cosmic threats. Like right now, we're in a geomagnetic storm, and if it's strong enough, like it's we're like in this solar maximum period. Like again, I nerd out on it, but at the same time, I don't quite understand it, but I understand it enough where I can explain a little bit. But anyways, we're in a solar maximum period where there's a lot of solar activity, and basically there's these sunspots that just have these bursts of energy that come our way, and typically our magnetic field protects us. But yeah, when these bursts of energy and solar flares and winds and things get really strong, it can really affect our satellites, communications, GPS, powers, transformers, like anything that runs on technology can be disrupted. Look up the Carrington event in the 1800s, where basically all these telegraph wires got caught on fire. If some sort of solar flare had that level of magnitude today, man, it would be really scary for us because we rely so much on technology, and it could be months before the power comes back on. So it's quite scary, and it doesn't seem that we're really addressing a lot of these problems. And it just seems like there's a lot of just secrecy, like the government and just dark and secret agencies don't really release a lot of the threats that really can disrupt our humanity and our way of life. And I think that's a wrong decision, because how are we supposed to collectively tackle a lot of these problems if we're not even educated on them, if we're not even sharing and being transparent about it? If we want to empower the generations behind us, we have to make sure that they're educated and that they understand that the how fragile our world really is, how fragile we are, how fragile our environment is, and we have to come to balance with it, and make sure that we have systems that can withstand a variety of threats, whether it's a super volcano or a solar flare or something man-made like a COVID. I mean, COVID could have been a lot worse. Just think if COVID had a death rate of just like 1 or 2% more, like just a small little fraction more would have been horrific. Luckily, I mean, because it was a very contagious flu, right? A very contagious respiratory disease of some sort. I don't know if it's classified as a flu. I don't know, but yeah, if it was just a couple percentage points more, man, we would be in trouble. So definitely take your time to be grateful. I know that a lot of people are struggling right now, but you're here. You're in the fight. Be grateful that you're still in the fight. Find your rhythm, man. That's why we dance. That's why we like dance. That's why we like music. It's rhythm, and we just got to find that consistent rhythm that works for us, that system that works for us, and that's the journey I'm on. So yeah, I hope this message maybe gives you a little bit of light today. I know I can get a little dark sometimes thinking about all these threats and possible fears that can affect us, but man, it also kind of makes you appreciate what we do have for today, and so hopefully you can find some time to appreciate the health and love that you have around you, and tackle the day with no fear, and so that way you can focus in the moment to get your work done, and be disciplined today. So I'll leave it at that. Many blessings to you. Much love out there. Peace, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.